digital TV, downloads and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
With Stephen Nolan.
We'll have a look through all tomorrow morning's newspapers, the Sunday morning newspapers at 11 tonight. Before that, 3 Canadian families are suing an American sperm bank for allegedly telling them their donor was a genius when in fact he had several mental disorders and a criminal record. At least 36 women in the UK, Canada and the US are thought to have got pregnant from the donor's sperm over the last decade. The families claim the Xytex Corp and its Canadian distributor Outreach Health Services told them donor 9623 had an IQ of 160, was an internationally acclaimed drummer and was working towards a PhD in neuroscience engineering. Laura Vitchins is the CEO of the UK's National Sperm Bank. Hello, Laura.
Hi, good evening, Stephen.
Well,
that's scary, isn't it?
Well, you tell me.
Scary, horrifying, and I'm so pleased to say that this is very unlikely to happen with sperm sourced in the UK, so not just the UK Sperm Bank, but pretty much every clinic in the UK. I think it's important to realise that the way it works in the US is completely different. It could be an income for guys. They can make up to $1,000 per month. And their medical records aren't checked. I mean, it's based on an online questionnaire that the guy filled in himself. So, and that's not going to happen in the UK. We have records checked via the GP, and everything else is checked.
There's so much in this that I'm interested in, actually. For example, so can you link someone's genetics to whether they're likely to be a criminal? I would have guessed not. So why is it relevant that he was a criminal?
I think it's relevant to know that if you look out for genetic father of your child, you want to know a bit about him.
Yeah, but you can't be predisposed to being a criminal, can you?
I wouldn't know, but you can be predisposed to mental illnesses. And if you are... The thing is, what the sperm bank has done, most patients or clients, they want height and intelligence. For whatever reason, that's one of the most important requirements. So if they sell him as a donor with an IQ 160, then you expect a donor like that. Now, if they didn't think it was relevant, then they wouldn't advertise for it. They would say, we don't think it's relevant, so therefore he's got a criminal offence, been in jail, and he's got mental disorders. Now, if patients still take it because they think it's not relevant, then good on them. But this is not what happened. A huge part of this is that it was misleading, and that people were led to believe that the guy was, I should say, a genius, 160, and I think I read that he read 3 books a week, and he was studying for this, and the other. And, of course, that's the thing, it's misleading.
So what checks are in place in this country?
In this country, your medical records are checked via GP, and it typically goes back about 4 generations, and verified. People know what medication you take. There's also a check against your criminal record, and there is an assessment, a counselling assessment, if the donor is doing it for the right reasons. You could argue whatever right is, but I think an important thing to realise is that a donor in the UK gets paid up to £35 a visit, so you're not doing it for the money. And it's capped, so it doesn't really matter whether your IQ is 75 or 175 or anything in between. Whilst in the US, the payment for a donor is based on whatever patients want. So you can have it as your income, and therefore donors are a different type of donor. So that in itself can't happen in the UK.
And the percentage of men who would apply to donate their sperm, Laura, who you accept, what would that be? It's
a horrendous dropout in the UK. About 90% of the men who inquire to become a sperm donor do not make it. Now, the majority of them fall out because of the sperm actually isn't good enough, but also they failed the medical test, that there's something in the family that disqualifies them for being a donor. That's not to say that they have to...
90% of men who apply 90%. Are disqualified?
Yes, so even if you have a family, so you have got proven fertility, the sperm needs to be frozen in a donation process, and the majority of sperm actually gets killed during that thawing process. But also men who have got something a genetic illness in the family, which in itself doesn't have to be terrible, but it is excluded. And some men with diabetes can't donate, some men who are very overweight. So for a variety of medical reasons, men are disqualified to become a sperm donor.
And what type of payment do British men get for their sperm?
It's capped to £35 per visit. Now, they can, it's not like they go into a clinic and do the thing once and walk out. A donor actually has to commit to going twice a week for a period of 3 to 4 months. So, depending on how many times, he could make up to $750 over a period of 4 or 5 months. Well,
Are you saying in America it's $1,000 a pop? Maybe that's the wrong phrase. $1,000 a time.
No, you can get paid up to between $50 and $200 per visit, but again with 2 or 3 visits per week, what it can be. And there's also not capped families. So a donor, once he's proven to be a good donor, he can donate as many times as he likes. So he could make $1,000 per month for, indefinite, whilst in the UK, it's capped to 10 families. So, after 6 months, you typically have reached the maximum families, and so you can't make $1,000 overall, let alone per month.
It's really interesting. Laura, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you tonight. Thank you.